said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic. Cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
Are we rolling, Southpaw?
We are rolling.
We are rolling. This is people like us. Chris Muldowney's back in the building, Joe.
Oh my fucking word! Is that Chris Muldowney in the house? No fucking word.
It's been a while. I'm nervous.
Been a while. No, man, you're not. It's fucking brilliant.
I'm out of practice.
Stop shaking, Chris.
It's fun. It's silly.
Stop touching the bed.
Yeah, listen. For any of our regular viewers that are slightly of a delicate composition, you might want to stop listening now because this is where it gets a bit raw, doesn't it, Chris? Sometimes, mate. Some of the
it's been known. Man.
Some of the stuff we've said, mate, is a little bit cancelly.
It's ruthless.
Yeah. It's a little bit cancelly, isn't it? It's a little bit.
That episode still needs deleting.
Yeah, it's like
which one?
Yeah, that one.
There was
you know that one?
Oh, the immigration one.
Yeah.
Well, I was right when let's be honest. Fucking nailed it.
Let's not get into that.
God.
Let's not talk about Southpaw. Let's move on.
No.
Come on. Oh, wait. What are you saying, mate? What have you got to say?
Yeah, well, we're gonna get a bit X-rated. We'll get a bit X-rated. Look, we've got boxing to talk about, but not yet.
Yes, we've got something before the boxing, haven't we?
Yeah, we'll just talk about a few things. So, like, want your opinion, right? So, this follows on. Anyone who listens to the earlier episode we filmed today with Johnny, I mentioned something, and but because we were all having a nice conversation, I didn't want to like go any further. I didn't want to like spoil a nice podcast with like,
so we'll spoil it now, shall we?
Like my fucked
Chris
up mind.
is here, yeah, let's do it.
Right, so like, I was thinking about it, right? And like, the story was, we'll cut the story out because I don't want to repeat it, but I saw a lady getting like arrested, basically. And during the kerfuffle, her boobie had fell out, right? Her breast had, became visible, let's say. Not all of it, just the side.
Yeah,
and
that got ragged out during arrest.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, there's a difference, isn't there? Like, if you've seen a fella, right, with his top off, you literally wouldn't bat an eyelid. It's normal.
Yeah.
You walk through our town centre in the summer, many men with many tops off.
Yes.
Of course. But if you've seen women walking around with their tops off...
Yeah, that's a different story.
It's a different story. And, like...
You're in the Caribbean on a beach.
Yeah, like... Is that like, are you allowed to do that?
I have no idea, mate. I just threw the Caribbean out there because I imagine there's topless beaches over there, but
isn't it funny though, right? So this is a comparison I was thinking. This is how my messed up mind works. So I'm thinking, right, I'm going to give you two situations and it switches. If you see a man here and a woman here, both of them have their top off, and I said to you, which one's more inappropriate? You'll say the woman is more inappropriate. Let's switch that round. You got a man and a woman, both with a top on, but no kegs on. Which one's more inappropriate? It's the man.
It is. Well, not by a lot. Not by a lot.
Okay.
It's not like when you see a man with his top off, that is perfectly acceptable. When you see a woman with a top off, completely unacceptable. When you see a man or a woman with the duds off and the privates out, both are completely unacceptable.
So to you, that's level.
Yeah.
Let me have a caveat. Man's got an erection. Right. That's natural. Okay, now, so you got a man.
The add-on's more offensive,
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so isn't that weird how that works? Like,
no one wants to see a raging boner, mate.
No one wants to see a raging boner.
Absolutely not.
No.
I can see a bit of bush, and that's all I can see.
That's it.
Or a little shrimp thing that's not erect yet. But when it's raging in your face, nobody needs to see that.
No.
Mate. That's bad.
And I was thinking, isn't that weird how one of them is more offensive than the other, in my opinion? Yeah, listen, I live alone, lads. Do you know what I mean? I live alone.
You've got a lot of time to think.
I've got a lot of time to think, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't have a dog. So, this is me. YouTube.
I've got two, and I still contemplate these things. Never contemplated this precise thing, but yeah, I would say that the man with his cock out hard as fuck is definitely the more offensive one, but still.
I would agree.
Both of them are bad, aren't they?
I would agree.
You see a woman walking around with no kegs on, it's like, what's going on
Well, let
here?
me explain. Like, okay, so just sorry to go on the point, but if you see a woman that is walking around, say, the town centre, and she's got a duds off, right?
Yeah.
And she's exposing herself, the reaction will be combination between, like, people saying, like, come on, love, what you doing? And, like, some people probably go over and say, oh, wait, pet, like, because you think they're not well. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, pet, what you doing? Like, try and cover them up, give us some decency. If there's a man stood on Ira with a boner, he's getting sparked out, like, immediately. There's no, like...
If he comes close, if he gets it within your personal space, he has to
He's
take
getting
one.
it.
when I was knocking on the doors, gas and electric,
Right.
right? I knocked on this door in Hartlepool, and Hartlepool's got some rough areas, mate, let me tell you. Terrace Street, knocking on the door, me and this guy called Glenn, who was my boss.
Right.
But he was new, so he wanted to shadow me to learn how the best. Because I was the best. He wanted to learn how the best did it.
Right.
So he's shadowing me, and I knock on this door, and this lass comes to the door, mate. A rat's out, everything.
Oh, Chris. Oh, rat's
She's the
out.
most horrible thing you've ever seen, mate. It's disgusting. It's on a level playing field with, what's her out who sang that? You know, the singer out of Britain's Got Talent, the Scottish lass.
Oh, that's
you know
Shannon
what I mean,
Boyle.
don't you? Yeah, that level of horrendousness. But a rat's out. She got a t-shirt on that's not covering her midriff, and she answers the door with no duds on. And me and Glenn just look at it. Nobody's looking. Off we go. Don't want to pitch you. Your rat's out. What you doing? So I've never had that from a man. No man has ever walked to the door with his bell end hanging out, raging in my face. Ever. Never happened. Yeah, the other one has, and let me tell you, I was shocked and appalled.
Yeah.
Kind of disgusted, because it was rotten, mate. Kind of put you a pussy for life.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Well, I
bad?
didn't.
For an hour or so. Yeah.
Repulsed for about half an hour, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything indecent, Southpaw?
Not to that extent, like Chris.
Never knocked the doors, though, in Hartlepool, have you, mate?
No, I don't intend to now.
Knocked the doors, me, mate.
When I was at
don't
school,
think
I've
I
seen
have.
some shit.
I don't think I have seen out like that. Not in public.
Well, when you're knocking on doors, gas and electric, you're sent to the roughest areas because they're the ones that will sign up here. You know what I mean? So you're sent to these rough areas and you end up in people's houses, and I've seen some shit, mate. Seen some absolute nonsense, shenanigans.
really
Yeah.
rough.
Oh, rough as doors, mate.
That to me has always been like the worst job to do. Like,
Do you know where I hated knocking?
where?
Darlington. Do you
No
know
way.
why?
Why?
'Cause they're all posh. Well,
Posh?
they're not posh, but none of them are destitute. You need those cunts that can't, you know, those ones that can't top up the gas and electric. They haven't got no money on the key. Look, sign up with me. You get a tenner on the key for a 30 quids all over the shop. Give me my commission. You know what I mean? That's the way it rolls. So when we went to Darlow, like DL3 and shit, I was like, fuck's sake. Fucking Darlington. Can't stand these
no
cunts.
good.
They're too posh.
No.
You know what I mean? They're too well spoken and that. They're fully dressed when they come to the door. Fuck off.
You need some like drug addictions, don't you? That's what
Exactly,
you need.
mate. You need a habit.
Some real problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Do you ever end up like going in, end up like partying?
Oh, yeah. Lines and joints and all sorts
No.
in houses. Yeah.
Really?
100%, mate, yeah. Anything to get them to sign the sheet. Whatever I need to do for you to sign your name on that sheet there. Boom.
No way.
I've heard some nasty stories about that before. Like somebody else I used to know that used to do it.
Gas and electric.
I think it was gas and electric. Definitely a knocking on door type job.
Yeah.
I think it was gas and electric.
It's either that or windows, isn't it? They're the two.
Yeah. But like this guy I used to know, like he like used to tell me a story how like, and it was like saying it now is like absolutely sickening to think that like he would go to bungalowed areas, like, and his tactic would be like if
He's targeting the elderly.
he found an old,
We weren't allowed to.
yeah,
If anyone was over the age of 60, we weren't allowed to sign them up.
you're not allowed.
No.
That's probably be better.
Yeah, we had to ask them if they looked around that age.
Yeah.
Like we used to call it over the proverbial hill.
Over the
This one's
proverbial
over
hill.
the proverbial hill here. How old are you, please? Oh, fuck off, get on my face.
You,
62.
you must have got a lot of like fuck offs. Like knocking on doors a tough gig.
No, not back in 2006, 2007 time, mate. It was a doddle. It was
Really?
a piece of piss. Honestly, every door I knocked on spoke to me.
No way.
Mate, we went to the roughest areas, all terraced houses. I get 7 deals by 12 o'clock, and we'd all fuck off. Every single one of us would be done by 12 o'clock.
Just like that.
Turn up at 9, go to Morrison's for our brekkie, on the streets by 10, on the doors by 10, away by 12. For at least a year and a half, and I was picking up a minimum 800 quid a week.
Wow.
After tax.
Back then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was. This was when Catherine was pregnant with Josh. I was
Right.
wedged to death, mate. Honestly, I had silly money. And what happened was, slowly but surely, over a period of 18 months, every gas and electric company started doing the same shit.
Right.
So there was Powergen, Northern Electric, British Gas, Powergen, loads of them, Scottish and Southern. I worked for London Energy at the time.
Right.
And because London Energy, based down south, you get your gas and electric in the north much cheaper if you buy it from London Energy.
Right.
So we had the best prices on the market. Everyone signed up, mate. And if they had a key meter, they got a tenner on the key. That was it, sold.
and in the desolate
do you
areas.
want a key with a tenner on it? I don't sign. That was my pitch. Key with a tenner on. Sign there, bro. It's done. 30 quid.
And that, you just had to get the signature, and that was it.
With a key meter,
Yeah.
signature, address, name, that carry on, you know what I mean? It, literally a sheet that you fill in, name and address, telephone number, email. Back then, no one had emails, so it wasn't even a thing. It was just literally, sign that, I'll fill the rest in once I've popped off.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean? I'm on your doorstep, sign that, mate, I'll give you a tenner free on the card. You sign it, I'll fuck off round the corner and fill the sheet in.
And that's
That's
it.
it done.
Madness.
It was the easiest money I've ever
see,
made.
You can see how they would. Like,
The problem with it was, right, when it got all on top and there was so many companies doing it, people did start ramming the door in your face. They didn't want to know, I've been ripped off by you, I've been ripped off by them. So it was a lot more difficult.
Right.
And what we all started doing as a team, we were in South Bank and we get given streets. This is your street for the day.
right.
My street's got loads of green fucking windows, mate.
Oh,
Boarded up
Right.
windows.
Yeah, right.
No one lives there.
knocking on a tin door.
Anyone home? Didn't think so. The fucking electric meter's not even there, mate. It's being ripped out. What's going on? This is my property for the day. I'm signing up empty houses, top and bottom, mate.
No,
this,
it is
this
though.
green house with no occupants, they signed up. Boom, 30 quid. We all got caught. We all got caught eventually.
Do you know, like in these desolate areas?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm thinking, I've lived in a desolate flat before, but I wasn't allowed, I don't think, to change my suppliers. Do you know what I mean? Because the property was owned by somebody else. How did that work?
No, if you're renting a property, you can choose your own gas and electric supplier. Of course
Can
you
you?
can. Yeah, absolutely, mate.
I didn't know
You're
that.
not locked into no electric because you're tenant. I'm a tenant. I've changed my electric about 3 times.
Oh, yeah. No,
I've got every right to choose the electric company I want.
I
It's
did
my
not
property.
know that.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Unless you're in like some sort of housing association thing where every single property is with this particular supplier and they won't change it. But that's like different to just a normal tenancy agreement. If I rent a house, I can pick my own provider.
Right. Well, then
It's
the
like
viewers
saying you couldn't pick your Wi-Fi provider.
Yeah, that one, I guess. I don't know. I was under the impression I couldn't change it.
No, you can, mate. Yeah,
No fucking way.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, to be fair, with energy suppliers, they're all about the same anyway, aren't they? Like, there's never much in it.
Well, back in the day, London Energy were massively cheaper than everyone in
Right.
our area.
Really?
Yeah, you're saving 300-400 quid a year on your gas and electric.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt good doing the job because I know I was helping people.
Right.
But then eventually their prices crept up to be in line with everyone else's. And
Mate, I'm probably not the right guy. I'm the guy that, like, if I'm going out in the morning, I'll put the heating on so it's on for when I come back in. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the guy to watch on energy prices. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I don't live in that world.
why don't you set a timer, mate?
Yeah. I've heard about
Set
this.
the timer for 4:30 so it comes on before you get in.
I'm just saying, like,
Just wafted me away.
oh no.
No way did I just suggest an energy saving outcome for the man. And he went,
I didn't.
like he's the Queen.
I didn't mean it like that. I was getting to my point. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was getting to my point.
What
I'm
is your point?
astounded
What
by that
happens?
manoeuvre.
What
That's
happens
outstanding.
if I come in early?
Yeah, if you come in early, it's cold, mate, and you turn the heating on. Don't worry about it, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Deal with the cold for 5 minutes. You're from the northeast, bro.
Mm.
What the fuck's the matter with you? Why have you moved my box over all the way over there?
Hang on, one sec.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave the camera shop. You have to stay in the camera shop. Yeah.
I'll do what the fuck I want, I'll be honest with you. I've had 4 cans now, so
Oh, he's flying.
Dangerous,
Oh, flying now.
I've got a dangerous podcast.
The brew
on our
dogs are
hands.
going down well.
Yeah, no, we do appreciate you coming up here and missing the.
Yeah, because I'm missing the Borough match tonight for this.
the
As I
shit
said,
team.
mate, many disappointments. You'll be pleased you
I'd
missed
rather
it.
watch the Borough than
And
and be
here.
disappointed than not watch the Borough.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. It's my football club, mate. I'm going to watch him whether they win, lose, or draw. But anyway,
Anyway,
here we are
here we are, sir.
to talk about
Yes.
the boxing.
And males with erections. Yeah, and energy supplies.
Yeah.
Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts.
When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online, to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts.
Look, it's tradition, and we are here to talk about a boxing show.
We are.
So we'll get down to it. What do we have? So when this goes out, it's tomorrow or today, because some people might watch this on the Saturday. So tonight or tomorrow.
All right, yeah. If it's Friday the 21st.
Yeah, if it's Friday the 21st, tomorrow or tonight, we have a real big boxing card, don't we?
Yeah, it's good. It's tidy.
So we'll start from the top. The main event.
Main event.
We've got Daniel Dubois, because he's the champ, versus Joseph Parker.
Is that the main event?
Is it not the main event?
I don't know, mate.
They might put the thingy.
It's Bivol Beterbiev's the main
Is
event.
it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, that's some undercard fight, isn't it?
It's unreal.
Heavyweight champ of the world.
Zhang versus Caballel starts the bill. It's the first fight. No, actually, I might be wrong. It might be Callum Smith versus Boatsi.
So let's start from this. So from here onwards, this is a boxing show.
That's not the card, that Courtesy.
That's
not the card.
We know the card, don't
we? We do know the card.
Yeah. So we'll start from the bottom.
Starting from the bottom. Zhang versus Caballel.
Yeah. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not into boxing, thank you for watching people like us, and we'll see you next time. For those that are,
anyone who likes to listen to two idiots talking about boxing, stay tuned.
Well, one idiot and me. So. Anyway, because we've got some disagreements, haven't we, Chris?
We do have a few.
We've got some disagreements. So we're going to start with the first one. Let's talk about Josh Amateur Boatsi versus Callum Professional Smith.
Yeah.
Okay? So my opinion, for what it's worth, is Josh Boatsi is a good fighter. He's a good prospect. But he's been a prospect since day one. And he's still a prospect now. Now, that to me means something.
It is annoying.
Annoying or a sign. That's what I'd say, because he's had good promoters, he's had good offers, and they don't seem to work out. Now, I don't know.
Yeah, he's turned down Bivol. I know that much.
Well, yeah, you probably would.
He was offered Bivol as his last fight for Hearn.
Yeah.
And he turned it down, which he probably thought for his career at the time it was the right thing to do.
I mean, it was. Because
it screams pussy to me. You know what I mean? You're a fanny, you don't get in.
You're definitely going to lose against Bivol. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But it doesn't matter what stage of your career you're at. You're going to lose to Bivol.
Can I ask, is Boatsi unbeaten?
Yeah.
Still unbeaten, right?
I think he might have a draw on his record against Craig Richards, maybe. I don't know. But he's unbeaten, yeah. He definitely hasn't been beat.
Right.
He had a scare or two along the way. I remember his eye getting bust up once. It was out here.
Okay.
And he managed to get himself through. He's unbeaten, yeah.
So my opinion here is, would you say that Callum Smith is the most experienced person that he's ever fought?
Yeah, definitely. 100% the most experienced, yeah.
Would you say Callum Smith is the biggest guy he's ever fought?
Yeah, tallest, most experienced, best fighter he's ever fought.
Okay.
Without question. Definitely the best.
And the last fight that Josh Boatsi had was against Willie Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with those three things, the fact that he won Willie Hutchinson convincingly.
And Willie Hutchinson looked immaculate the fight before in the 5v5. He looked really good, mate. He smashed Craig Richards about. He literally outboxed him for the full 12 rounds. It wasn't even a contest. So Willie Hutchinson went into that fight on the back of a really good performance, and Boatsi smashed him about, mate.
Do you think? I don't know.
He did, like.
Was it a smashing about?
Yeah, he was totally dominated the fight, mate.
He won. He won.
Yeah, but it wasn't a question. It wasn't like you got to the end of the fight and who won that. It
No.
was like, Boatsie's won that by a distance, comfortably. Didn't have to get out of second gear. What you might find with Boatsie is that when he gets tested, he goes up a level. And if he's, let's say he's in an exchange and he's getting hurt, he might be able to go through the gears to look like a better fighter. But I think Boatsie's really dangerous, mate.
So here's my argument, right? In order for Callum Smith to win,
Yeah.
I don't think he has to have the best night of his life.
No.
If Boatsie is to win, I think he has to have the best night of his life so far.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Right.
I'll repeat that.
Yeah, Boatsy needs to have the best night of his life to win, and Callum Smith doesn't. He
Yeah.
can have an average night and still win. I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I think
Make your case.
When they're in there with each other, Boatsy's a big man. I think Callum Smith's. I back Callum Smith to beat Beterbiev, mate.
Wow.
The last time we were here,
Right.
I backed Callum Smith.
You
I
did.
sent you a $5 because
Yeah.
you backed Beterbiev.
Yeah.
That's how much faith I had in Callum Smith. I watched Callum Smith, and do you know what I thought? He's finished.
Off the Beterbiev fight?
Yeah.
Really?
He looked like an absolute melt, mate. He didn't even throw punches. He just got beat up. He got into the ring and got beat up.
But who did he get beat by?
Same against Canelo. Doesn't matter who you're getting beat by, mate. If you're just going to sit there and get beat up, you haven't got much left. And he did that against Bivol, and he did that against Canelo. So that's 2 times I watched him, in the face of adversity, not be able to rise to the occasion and pull out that extra bag.
Let me ask you a question.
Boatsie's going to fuck him up, mate.
And I'm asking this genuinely because I don't know the answer. Was he stopped by Beterbiev?
Yeah.
Which round?
7.
Oh, so it was not all the way through.
Smashed him about, mate.
Obviously, you'd expect that.
No, I didn't. I expected Callum Smith to be catching him with left hooks and using his height to keep him at bay because he's much taller than Beterbiev.
Right.
I expected Callum Smith to win the fight, and he showed me up live on the podcast, which I'm not happy about, to be fair, because my predictions are usually bang on, but Callum Smith's like fucking my ratio up. But anyway, shut up, you ding. I'll be taking your 20 quid on Saturday the 22nd.
It's a question. Let's rewind time back to when, because I honestly can't remember this fight. I just remember how it ended. No, sorry, I know what the result was, not how it ended. When Callum Smith fought Canelo, and it was a few years ago, how did that go the whole distance?
It went the distance, yeah.
Okay. Well, what we take from
Callum
that,
Smith done nothing.
nothing.
Canelo battered his jab arm, kept battering this arm where it was ballooned up. That's what he was aiming for. And Callum Smith didn't use his left and never engaged with his right hand. And he fought like someone that knew he was outclassed. I can't beat this guy, so I'm just going to survive. And he did the exact same thing against Beterbiev, and I think Boatsie will put him in his box early. Catch him with some shots and put him in his box.
Do you remember in recent years, you'll probably, being a historian, you'll tell me who it was, Callum Smith had a fight, like, it might have been a couple of years ago, and he looked electric. He sparked somebody clean out.
Yeah.
Who was that?
There was a guy called Summit Love. Courtesy, you'll have it. Pull up Callum Smith's record on BoxRec, mate.
Because somebody got flatlined, didn't they?
Yeah, he knocked him out about 4 times. Well, he put him down about 4 times in 2 rounds. But he'd done that a few times. When he moved up from super middle to light heavy, his first 3 or 4 fights were all gimmies, but he smashed them all.
Is this the same weight as that? Go at the top, mate.
Yeah, so
Stay there. One of these.
that's him. That Hassan and Dam and Jikam. That's
Right.
the one that he knocked out dead early.
Was it?
Yeah, he splattered him. He had him on the floor like 3 or 4 times in the fight.
Right. So he's lost.
But he struggled against Ryder. He got beat off Alvarez. Rivera was a walkover. So
Yeah.
was that Baudelic. There were his introductions into the light heavy. And then he's been beat. Who's that Carlos Galvan? Oh, wait. What's he doing there?
Ooh.
20-14, Carlos Galvan.
How far down his record are we?
I'm at the top there, mate. Carlos Galvan, 20-14.
Yeah, it was warm.
That's
wasn't it?
14 losses he's had. What's he getting in the ring with him for?
I don't know. And like you say, looking at this record, I'm holding these 2019 and 2020 fights.
Exactly, mate. He's inactive. He never fights. You've already put your money on it now, mate, so you're fucked.
Yeah.
I'll be taking that $5. 100% Boatie's going to murder him.
Look, I'm staying with it, and I can see.
Aggression is going to win Boatie the fight.
Yeah, listen, I can see your point. Fresher, definitely fresher. Maybe wants it more.
Even that John Ryder one there, mate.
Yeah.
He lost that John Ryder fight.
Really?
100%. John Ryder outboxed him.
No way.
He got the decision, but it was a robbery. It's a blatant robbery.
This is Buatsi's record here.
Yeah, Buatsi's unbeaten. I think he might have a draw on his record. I don't know, but
Mate, when did Callum Smith last fight?
his last fight was Beterbiev.
Right.
He's just unbeaten by the looks of things, Chris.
He's unbeaten, yeah. No draws on the record.
But his record's not exactly brilliant, is it?
No, it's not. He's got no one on there. Dan Aziz is good, though.
Here we go, right? Buatsi's looked good and fought no one. Callum Smith's...
You say no one. Aziz and Willie Hutchinson are both really top-level European fighters. They are, mate.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, European
So
fighters.
he's beaten both.
Yeah.
And he's now stepping in with a world-level fighter. He thinks his
Arguably.
time's right. You know what I mean? This is the time for me to go into this world-level shit. And
How old is...
Callum Smith will be about 34, mate.
will he?
35.
How old's Josh? Young.
28, 29.
31.
Yeah. I mean, these Olympic boxers start their professional careers quite late. Although Buatsi, he's been gone since 2016. His career's stuttered.
Yeah.
Like, stop, start.
Strange, isn't it? And he's
Yeah,
had good
it's weird.
promoters too, right?
Well, he had Eddie Hearn, mate, and Eddie Hearn tried to get him in the big fights, and his management team have said, no, we're not ready for the big fights. So that's why Eddie Hearn released him.
Right.
And gone, off you go to Sky Sports. But
Who's he with now?
he's with Ben Shalom.
Right. Look, do you know what? I'm definitely not going to sit here now and say Callum Smith's going to win this easy. Definitely not.
No.
I just think it's going to be a close fight. And I think, for the most part, Josh Buatsi's going to look the better fighter. But I just think Callum Smith might just have a trick up his sleeve.
Well, his one chance is that left hook, because his left hook is absolutely lethal. If
And
he
that's-
can land it.
And that's what I think it'll be.
I'd be happy for Callum Smith if he wins. I just don't think he's going to, mate. I wouldn't be
Well.
happy for you and your fiver, but I'll be happy for Smith if he wins. I don't mind the Smiths, but they always fall at that final hurdle. All of them.
Yeah.
They always do. Every single Smith has always fell at that final hurdle. And there's 4 of them, Courtesy. There's Paul, there's Stephen, there's Liam, and there's Callum.
Oh, really?
And every single one of them is a good, solid professional boxer, but when they get to that top level, they get beat.
Has Callum Smith ever been a world champion?
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, he beat Eubank, didn't he? And he beat George Groves
That's it.
for the Muhammad Ali trophy
Right.
years ago.
So he won the Muhammad Ali trophy.
Yeah, he won the Muhammad Ali, and he was also Ring Magazine, but that was at super middle, and he was class at super middle because he was so
lower
big
weight, yeah.
in comparison to everyone else. But he can't get down to 168 anymore, so he has to go up to 175, and he's not as lethal at 175. Well, certainly not on the Beterbiev and, well, Canelo was at 168, but he blamed weight drain for that. You know, like, I was dead on the scales for Canelo, so I didn't fight well. And he's also came out and said he was injured against Beterbiev. I was injured and I wasn't at my best. Sounds like a load of nonsense to me, mate. Don't get in the ring if you're not at your best. Like, if you're not fully 100% ready to fight Beterbiev, don't get in the ring, call it off, and delay the fight for another however long it takes. Don't step in the ring for the cash and put up a performance like he did, mate, because it was shocking. I genuinely believed he was going to win that fight, and he was a disgrace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking... You mean the Beterbiev fight?
Yeah.
I'm looking at him there on the weigh-in. Like, he looks petrified. I'm not going to lie. He looks like he's lost.
Where are we looking?
There, that big
Oh,
picture.
yeah, he needs...
Like, who looks like there who's going to win that fight? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think you can read too much. Do you know what he looks? He looks sick. That's what he looks. He looks unhappy, doesn't he?
Looks like he don't want to be there.
But he doesn't look like he's so skinny. You know, like Conor McGregor skinny,
Yeah.
145, where you can see his...
Oh,
how
God.
gaunt his face is.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that skinny.
He doesn't know. Look, I think this fight's going to be an interesting fight. We won't dwell on it too long. I do think
We
it's,
already out, bro.
I do think it's going to be close. I'm personally going to go with Callum Smith.
I'm going Buatsi
Okay, so
by stoppage.
Yeah, if
Inside 8.
if anyone wants to comment and tell us who's the idiot, we're more than happy to read that comment. Who's next on the bill? Who's next up?
Who's next on the bill, Courtesy?
You'll know, Chris.
I don't
Let's
mate.
just pull one out.
Hang on, the next on the bill is Zhang versus
Thingy.
Cabial.
So, yeah, every arrow, Zhang is the latest one I've put into my prediction because at first I wanted no part of Zhang against Kabiel. You're
Oh,
right.
you were immediately on Zhang.
Was I?
You were immediately on Zhang.
Who's
Yeah,
Callum
we
Smith
were having a
I've
chat
added?
about it a couple
Right.
of weeks back. Yeah, Callum Smith was your late one. I'll go Callum Smith.
Well, let me tell you, this one is the one of them. I'm more confident in Callum Smith than I am in Zhang, but I'm still picking Zhang because I've bet against him a few times. So, like, my track record with Zhang isn't good.
You're back against him with Parker.
No,
You thought he was going to beat Parker.
no, sorry. I thought Parker was going to win that fight, and he did. But I literally think Zhang gave that away because I thought that fight was done.
He's got no gas tank, mate. There's a reason why he lost the fight, and it's because he couldn't land on Parker.
Yeah.
Now,
Both
Ajit
times.
Kabiel is... It's difficult to say this because there's no proof in it, but Kabiel's better than Parker. Kabiel is a beast, mate. I'm telling you, he's quality.
Good boxer.
It needs to be proven.
How good?
Very good.
No, I
very,
say it needs to be proven how good he is.
Very good. Well, put it this way. He smashed Chisora. He smashed...
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah, when he was a kid. And he still smashed him. But then he smashed that
Makhmudov.
Makhmudov? Is that what it is? Yeah, the
Makhmudov. Big lump.
massive head. Like,
And everyone said
no
he'd
one
lose
thought
that.
he could get beat.
Yeah, everyone said he was going to lose that. And he didn't.
Makhmudov's dangerous. He's going to end Kabiel. So he smashed him about, knocked him out, ended him with a body shot. And then Frank Sanchez, who is also really highly rated. Everyone
Really.
thought he was the boy.
Yep.
Kabiel smashed him a bit.
Yep.
He's not active. He's not busy enough, Zach, to win this fight. Kabiel, as a chin, he's massive. Honestly, you don't realise how massive he is until you see him against someone else.
Who's Zhang? How big he is?
Kabiel. You
he
don't
big?
realise how big Kabiel is. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, he's thick.
Is he?
He's thick, man. He's massive. And he just sits in the pocket. He's like this.
Great
Just-
boxer, isn't he?
he's mint, mate.
Great
I
boxer.
really rate him, me. I think he can go right at the top, Kabiel, and I think he's going to knock Zhang out.
Right.
There you go, mate.
Let's go back to that fight card, Southpaw. It's the best thing to look at, I think. Yeah, look, I can see your case, right? It's a strong one. Yeah, okay, youth, Kabiel, because the other one's old as a dinosaur. Better boxer.
He's good though. Don't get me wrong. I rate Zhang.
I rate him.
If Zhang lands on you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, so I'm picking, with this, you're right. If this sits at 6 rounds, my bet's lost. If I see round 6, my bet's lost.
Yeah.
So I'm going for one of them mental, like...
He has to land something huge.
Yeah, a mental out the blue. You don't see it, and just shocking against the flow of action,
Yeah.
and just a wobble, and then Zhang just to close it. You know, like he did with Wilder.
He's more than capable of doing that, mate. I just don't see it.
Interesting.
So that's another 5 to me. But yeah, I mean, you were trying to. I like that as well.
What?
Like you in the text message the other night, you said, "Oh yeah, so this is who I've got," and he included Madrimov. I wouldn't dream of backing against.
No.
Like, what are you doing,
No,
Dan?
no.
What are you on about, Madrimov? Stop it.
No, I'll be honest. I just looked through it and I just picked the ones I was sure of. I couldn't remember which ones you bet on.
So
Well,
you,
the ones
you got
I've
five, you
picked,
got 5 on each
I've got
fight.
Buatsi. No, not each fight, because some of them he agrees with me on.
Ah, right.
So I've got Buatsi, Kabiel. We both agree that Hamza Shiraz will win. I think we both agree that Israel Madrimov will win. We both agree that Shakur Stevenson will win. So the other one is I've got Parker and I've got Dubois and Dan's got Parker.
Yeah.
1, 2.
7.
Where's the other fight? We're missing a fight there.
The undisputed is the top.
Oh, right. Yeah,
We're going to
of
get
course.
to there in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you don't mind just not messing the show up, and we'll just go through it step by step. You know, all right? Because we've only got half an hour, mate. You know what I mean? Like, that's who's going to win. Right, see you
Trying to
later.
race through. See you in a bit.
Come
I
on,
want to
fam.
get back to the Borough match.
Yeah, I know Borough's playing. Listen, as soon as that hour mark comes up, that's it. It's a wrap.
Good. Excellent.
We'll literally just say, right, that's enough. See you later, bye. That's what we'll do at the end. We'll just leave it there. How far are we through, Southpaw?
Are we then? We're on Virgil Ortiz, Madrimov.
No one gives a fuck about that fight. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
No one knows who they are.
no one knows who-
Madrimov's going to beat him. They're both good fighters, though. It has the
Understood.
potential to be a great fight, but Madrimov.
Yeah, easy. Next
Hamza
one.
Shiraz, no one really cares.
No one really cares.
I'm going Hamza.
Yeah, obviously, Hamza. I don't know who any of them two people
Adamez
are.
is decent. Adamez isn't a pushover, but I expect Shiraz. I have no idea who Floyd Schofield is.
No, I've never heard of him.
Shakur is too good for any of them.
Too good for any of them.
So, Dubois,
This is an interesting
you're
one.
going Parker.
I am. So let's hear your case first.
So, no, I just want to question you on something first, mate. So you back Dubois to beat Joshua,
Yes.
and your prediction comes true, and Dubois gives the performance of his life.
And he gave the worst performance of his life, the other one.
Forget Joshua. Doesn't
I
matter.
didn't think I'd hear you say that ever, Chris.
Doesn't matter about what Joshua did. Dubois fucked him up, yeah?
Fucked him up.
Game over.
Oh,
In the first round.
you
it
love
was
him
done.
though, don't you?
As soon as he got up after the first knockdown, I said to my boy, that's him finished. He's getting... He was
He's
like
out.
this.
He's done.
Like struggling. Anyway, you backed him to beat Joshua, but now he's fighting Parker, who Joshua's beat. You were backing Parker to beat Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make sense, mate?
So everything you've just said, I'll go through it. I actually rated, as much as he got, I actually picked Dubois to win that fight, but I didn't see it being that easy.
No.
I think Dubois did win, and he had it the night of his life. And I think Joshua just wasn't at the fucking races. I think if you got, even today in his depleted state, if you run that back now, you'll see a different fight. Now, I still think Dubois will win, but I don't think it'll look like that. So I was pretty sure. I just thought youth and power is just going to beat Joshua. He's just had his day. But it doesn't mean he's bad.
Fair
Doesn't
play.
mean he's bad. I just think if it ran again, right, my prediction
I mean, you
again,
almost predicted it perfectly, because what you said was he'd be up against the ropes taking loads of punishment and the ref would jump in, and that pretty much...
what happened?
It would have happened if
Would
he
have
didn't
happened.
get sparked clean out. You
That's
know
how
what
I
mean?
thought it would be. But
But you predict that perfectly. I thought Joshua was going to smash him to bits, mate. I didn't see a way that Dubois was going to win that fight. I literally couldn't see Dubois beating Joshua.
Yeah.
So he smashed him to death, and now you're backing Parker to beat him. Makes no sense to me, mate.
Because I'm not getting, even though I got that prediction right, I'm not getting deluded by what I saw. Dubois, to me, mate, everyone thinks he's a second coming. I don't think he is. I think he beat Joshua that night. I think there's a lot of heavyweights can beat him.
I think he beats Joshua every night. Every single night of the week, 100 times out of 100. Joshua can't cope with him. He couldn't cope with his jab. He couldn't cope with his attacks. He had no answer to him. And I don't care how many times Joshua gets in the ring with him, he's getting spark clean out, because Dubois is all wrong for him. I didn't think that before the fight, but now I've seen it. I'm like, holy shit, Dubois got his number.
Well,
And
look,
that's probably
anyway.
the reason that Joshua hasn't wanted to fight Dubois. All his career, I don't need Dubois. He's not on my level. That's what he's always said. He's not on my level. He just smashed you about, Joshua.
He did, and yeah, look, I do think that Dubois won, and I think he would win again. But if it ran it back again, I would
You see a different fight.
different fight. But we're not here to talk about them two, because that's not happening.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about why I've picked Joseph Parker to beat Daniel Dubois. Because you're right, on paper you're like, no chance. I see the triangle. Joshua beat him, he beat him. No.
Yeah, triangles don't really work, but yeah, go on.
I see this. There's two factors in there. Number one, the whole adage that styles make fights. But I'm also going to look at the time as well. And I think, and I believe Joseph Parker, when he says he is hitting his prime now, I do see that.
Yeah.
And it's the Andy Lee thing. That's what it is. And I think Joseph Parker will win by a game plan. That's what he'll win by. Dubois' game plan is much of the same.
Yeah.
Dubois isn't going to change how he fights.
No.
Dubois he's just smashed 3 people in a row doing the same thing. Why wouldn't he just keep, of course he's doing, we know what he's going to bring. Parker, I think's got a few tricks up his sleeve that Dubois has to deal with. He doesn't know who's going to get in the ring. The boxing mover, the sporadic, the boom boom. This guy who comes like in, out, in, like he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I can just, you know what it is? This is just a feeling fight. This is just a feeling. I don't know. And do you remember when I picked Dubois to beat Joshua? I just had a feeling that this is going to go. And this is the same. I've been watching these interviews, and I think Dubois overlooked him. I think he's looking past him. I think he's feeling himself too much. I think he's digging himself too much.
I can't argue with any of that, because he definitely is looking past Parker, and he is loving himself at this moment in time. But hasn't he got every right to be?
Of course he does. 100%. Why wouldn't you be?
And who's to say that a Daniel Dubois full of confidence and full of himself isn't better than the Dubois who's
Nothing.
steady-headed? You know what I mean? Maybe the best Dubois is when he's full of his arrogance and he's like, I'm going to fuck this guy
I
up.
think it is the best Daniel Dubois.
I do personally.
But I don't think Joseph Parker's no scrub. And I think Joseph Parker's a more intelligent fighter. And
He is more intelligent, no doubt. And
Now-
he's got better footwork, he's got better hand speed, he's technically
Crafty.
better than Dubois. You got a powerhouse in front of you that's going to land.
Powerhouse.
I mean, the thing with Dubois I always questioned was his chin. Can Dubois take punishment, particularly after the Joe Joyce fight? That was what opened it up, like, and then Usyk put him down with a right hand jab, and you're thinking he's got no chin, this boy, but he's been through Jarrell Miller, Hergovich landed loads of right hands,
man.
clean on his head,
Loads, mate.
right, like boom, boom.
I don't know how he got through
peppered
that.
him. So Dubois' chin is bang on.
Unbelievable.
So Parker hasn't got a massive amount of power, so he's not going to stop Dubois coming
Nope.
forward.
Nope.
I mean, Parker's never been stopped either, which is fair. He's got a chin.
Goes down, though. He has been stopped. Joe Joyce sparkoed him.
Ah, good
Bit
shout,
proper
mate. He
spark
did,
on
yeah.
him.
He wasn't very well, so he says,
But
for that fight.
That
but,
was a grueling battering. Like, it took basically rounds upon rounds of thuds to put him down. Now, what I think will happen is, you're right what you've said. Josie Parker's not knocking Daniel Dubois out.
No.
But he also can't just run around the ring all night because he's going to lose on points.
No.
So I believe...
he has to do those 1-2s. 1, 2, 3. Bang, bang, bang. And
And-
out. And on his way. And round the ring. And 1, 2, 3 again.
that. And I believe his game plan would be, let's just see if one of these in the 12th round, let's say he does it 2 or 3 times a round, twice a round, once a round,
Yeah.
and then get out of the way. Let's just see if I can't, not tire him out because he won't get tired, but just make him be methodical, where he's just, for round after round, he's doing the same thing, looking boring. Take him 6, 7, 8, boring. But one of them goes, see a wobble, just see a, you know what I mean? Like, just, because it's not all action, like, bore him to death, basically.
Yeah.
Then get that thing, you don't have to spark him out, but just see a wobble, and then just, because he's not stupid. He knows if you see what just happened to Joshua, lunging in on him is not a good idea.
Yeah, but Joshua didn't lunge in. Joshua wasn't even, like, attempting to attack Dubois. He was on the back foot from the very first second of the fight, mate. He got put under pressure. He got backed up to the ropes and he got fucked up, mate. That's what happened.
I mean, the knockout was a counterpunch. Joshua was coming at him.
But that was when
He
Joshua
swung.
was desperate and he knew he was finished. He'd been hurt and down on several occasions in the fight, and he thought, I'm going out all guns blazing here.
Yeah.
He caught Dubois with a massive right hand, and let's be honest, Dubois took it like a monster.
Just looked at him.
Like, literally, he backed up a little bit, like, he's hurt me a little bit, but as soon as he, like, took a couple of steps back, he was clear-headed again and landed that right-hand counter. But that's different to what we're talking about with Parker.
Very.
Parker won't ever be in a desperate situation. I can't imagine him turning to desperation to win the fight. What I will say is, though, Dubois won't be shy in coming forward. Dubois will put loads of pressure on him,
Loads.
walk him down with a jab, and unload those hooks from either side. Because that's what he does. He throws a jab and then he bang, 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 and launching you against the ropes. Parker's a little bit cleverer than Joshua, but I don't see how he can survive Dubois. I really don't. I mean, great fighter, but no, I just don't see him surviving the 12 rounds with Dubois. I think he gets finished.
I feel you, Chris, and to be fair, like what you just said is probably what will happen. You know, that's
So why have you put a $5 on Parker, son? Just for the crowd.
feeling.
You got the feeling.
Got the feeling.
Those feelings scare me.
These feelings have been wrong.
Yeah.
I got a feeling out of all 3 of Deontay Wilder's comebacks that one of them 3 would be it, but it never was.
I remember.
But I've also got some feelings before where it's happened,
Yeah.
and this is one of them. I don't know. I just think it's rot. Like, do you know what? This is what I've learned about boxing. What shouldn't happen happens, sort of thing. Fury was supposed to beat Usyk.
Yeah, we've spoke about this before.
Yeah,
Like
and-
what needs to happen and what would be best for the boxing world to happen isn't necessarily what's going to happen. And 9 times out of 10, it's the opposite of what you want to happen
Yeah.
that actually happens. But we were talking about what was it? So I backed Parker to beat Wilder, but then I backed Zhang to beat Parker. Do you remember? You backed Parker. No, you backed Zhang to beat Parker. I backed Parker to beat Zhang.
Yeah.
So I've backed Parker on numerous occasions. I can't see him winning this one.
Yeah. You're right. Look, everything about it.
Dubois on
is
fire.
It is wrought. that Daniel Dubois is supposed to be the heavyweight
Do you know what I
champ now.
want? I want Dubois to smash Usyk to death. I'd love to see it. You remember I signed up Daniel Dubois for a website, don't you, bro?
Oh, did you? Did you?
Did I?
Never.
Got on the phone to his sister. Go, yeah, get the website now. Got a website for you here. Me.
Yeah, great guy.
So, yeah, I've got a lot of allegiance to him. And I really want him to become undisputed heavyweight champion so that Dash Media have the undisputed heavyweight champion on their hands. And I can say, I did that. You know what I mean?
It's not a bad claim, is
That'd be
it?
class.
It's not a bad claim. Look, on this one, this one's a funny one, and I just think in this whole card, look, go top. I've picked Callum Smith. He's probably going to win. Like Ajit Kabayel versus Zhang.
Do you just want to give me the 20 quid?
I'm just saying. Ajit Kabayel Zhang. Kabayel's probably
That could go either way, mate. I just fancy Kabayel.
on this card. There's going to be a shock,
Of course there will. There always is.
and that shock comes when Joseph Parker catches Daniel Dubois on the temple and stops him.
Never.
That's what happens.
Is that what you're going?
Because everyone would say, okay, let me paint you a picture. Let's say in an imaginary world, Joseph Parker was to win. You go, oh, it'll have to be on points. It won't be. It won't be. Joseph Parker will somehow stop.
I mean, he's got a bit of pop, but
He's going to stop him.
I mean, you don't disrespect Parker's power, but he's not like a one punch.
No.
He's 3 or 4, like bang bang bang, and
I don't remember him ever knocking anyone out. Ever.
I've seen him knock a few people out, mate. He's got about 25 knockouts on his record.
From puddings. No one ever.
I don't think he's ever knocked out anyone spectacular.
No.
Everyone A-level fighters that he's fought, he's gone the distance with, like Joshua White,
Yeah.
Zhang, Wilder. Who was his most recent fight? He got
Wilder?
knocked out by Joyce. No, his most recent fight was Zhang, wasn't it? But,
Was it Zhang?
yeah, he's never knocked out a top level fighter.
No.
So,
No. Look.
man, in saying that, he nearly had Dylan White out. At
He
the end
did,
of the
yeah.
12th, he nearly had him.
That was exhaustion, right? Dylan was exhausted.
Yeah, it's a 12-round fight, though, isn't
I'll
it?
tell you what, if that fight happened again, I wouldn't be picking Dylan White. No offence. There's no chance. But anyway,
White's finished.
Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker, amazing fight. Real puzzle. You can.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
the one that you're looking forward to. Man, in saying that. Zhang Kabayel is class. Joshua. The ones we've picked are the top fights on
Of
the night.
course they are.
They are
And
really
that's the one
exciting, but-
I'll be getting my popcorn for. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's the
100%.
one. What on
right
earth?
before the main event, you sit down, you put Dubois on,
And you
like,
think,
hold
right,
on.
let's see how this all fucking unfolds. Because it's
Yeah, because
just.
it could go anywhere.
It's
It could.
it's
as
mental.
much as I'm confident of Dubois beating him, it could go anywhere. I don't know the future. I don't know how Parker's going to box on the night. Parker might outbox him and make him look a fool.
Let me paint you a picture, right? And this sounds mad. Let me paint you a picture.
Go on.
What would you say if I said to you that Joseph Parker becomes an undisputed champion?
I'd be happy for him. I
So
really
would I, because he's a lovely fella.
Isn't he? And he's a proper pro as well.
Who
He's
is-
never ducked a fight. He's been in with all sorts. He comes back from defeats. He's just a proper bloke. I like him, mate. And if he becomes undisputed, I can't see him beating Usyk. But if he managed to pull off that, I'd be out of my chair like Joshua was the undisputed champion.
Like, just
For Joseph Parker, well the fuck done.
what
sir.
a guy.
Yeah.
For never looked like he should be. And he ended up being.
I mean, back in his early stages of his career, I was thinking this New Zealander, this Maori thing, 6'4", massive. I think he's going to be dangerous. But as I started to watch him more and more, I started.
He just seemed to have too much of a nice side. That's always been his downside.
Yeah,
he
a
hasn't
little
got that nasty streak.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah.
And that's always been his Achilles heel.
Have
Like,
you been
you feel-
watching the Dubois Parker build-up? Like
Yeah.
the face-offs and that, and
Yeah.
what they're saying to each other.
Yeah. He hasn't got that spite, has he? He's not a
No,
spiteful
he's
guy.
never going to be a good interviewer, is he? Or like a good person to sit down in a
have a-
face-off where you're going to have a do with someone, you know what I mean? He's like,
He's too nice.
You talk too much.
Yeah.
Now, Joe. Tell me you're going to rip his head off, mate.
I know. It's just not who he is. And I think that's probably why a lot of people root for him. A lot of people root for Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I've got a real soft spot for him.
No
like-
one dislikes him.
No, definitely
He's the
don't
nicest
dislike him.
nicest person in boxing.
Definitely like him, 100%.
Interesting fight, heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Really interesting fight. For me, the fight of the night. Chris is going with the heavyweight champ, Daniel Dubois,
I
to
am.
knock the living you-know-what out of Joseph Parker.
Stoppage, yeah.
And I'm going for an intelligence against the floor.
Points decision.
No, stops
Stoppage.
Daniel Dubois. Just to
What are
like,
we saying late?
we're saying late. We're saying 8 onwards.
Yeah.
And we're saying...
Between 8 and 12.
yeah, and we're saying... My opinion is where everyone goes, never. One of them.
It could be that. I mean, boxing's boxing, innit?
It's great,
So
innit?
many times you've got into a boxer, and you're like, this dude has no chance of getting beat, and you're like, oh
And you're
my
like,
God.
what
Like
the
the Ruiz Joshua thing is a perfect example. That Joshua Ruiz in New York, it's like,
This is easy.
I'm just sitting down at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
To watch
like,
this
I'm going to watch Joshua smash fuck out. And by the end of it, I'm fucking in tears. Put 100 bar on Joshua. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake. So boxing can go anywhere. It's the beauty of the sport, isn't it? It is the beauty of the sport.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in boxing.
Before
One punch changes everything.
Before we get to the final fight, just a side question. When did Eddie Murphy become Captain America?
He's not Eddie Murphy, mate.
That's Eddie Murphy, isn't it?
It's not.
No.
No, mate. It's a young version of Eddie Murphy, that. I can't remember the guy's name, actually, but he's in quite a few movies. He's not Eddie Murphy.
Let's get to the last fight, the headline.
The headline, yeah.
Now, this
Beterbiev
one,
versus
mate,
Bivol.
listen, I've humoured you through some of
yeah.
these, but, like, I'm just going to say it outright. On this one, mate, like, I genuinely don't see where you're coming from with it.
Bivol beat him in the first fight, man. Top and bottom. Bivol won that first fight. He got robbed. Of course he did, mate. I watched it about 55 times.
Let me ask you a question. Did you have a bet on that fight?
Yes.
Was it on Bivol?
It was an accumulator.
Was it on Bivol?
I had an accumulator up, and Bivol was in that accumulator.
Was it the
yes.
last box of the night?
But it doesn't make a difference to my opinion. Bivol won the fight. If Bivol lost and my bet went down, I'd be like, Beterbiev beat him. Bivol landed shots for... I'd be... anyway. I'm of the opinion that Bivol won the fight.
Okay.
I don't see how he loses the second one.
He loses a second this way, in my opinion. I'll listen to you. Tell me how he's going to win, and I'll tell you how.
He's too clever.
Okay.
He's far too clever. He's faster. He's more technically skilled. He just beats him. Like, the first fight, he won. For me, he won by 2 rounds. The second fight, he's going to win by 6 rounds. There you go. That's my prediction, mate. I'll stand by it. I'll stand on it. Bivol, 6 rounds. And, yeah, I'll see you on Saturday night when you owe me 20 bar. What's that? What have you just done? What was that he's just done? Reminded me of my old PE teacher, Mr. Powell. He used to put his hand down the crack of his arse, right? And then he'd go... like in front of everyone. We're all like, what's Mr. Powell doing? He's just done that.
Fucking hell.
Listen, Chris, right? I like boxing just like you do.
I know you do.
Right? And on that list of 12 people, 14 people, right? On that list of 14 people we're looking at,
Yeah.
there's 13 boxers.
And one...
That isn't a human.
Beterbiev.
He's not a human.
So you say there's a Terminator?
He, mate, will never, ever, ever be beat. And
Yeah,
I'll tell you
he's-
who he'll never, ever be beat by either. He'll never be beat because the mentality. This is bigger than what you're looking at.
How many times you watched the Bivol Beterbiev fight?
Enough.
Just the once?
And I know I didn't need to watch it again.
No.
I know what I saw. I knew he'd won at the end of the fight.
No.
When that fight finished, I was like, yeah, he's won the fight. And that's what happened.
He didn't.
So, anyway, we can disagree. That's what this is about. It's a
I know,
podcast.
but you're going on like it was clinical, like...
No,
he
it absolutely wasn't clinical. Bivol was brilliant. And he, by far, put the best show in. But, mate, Chris, what I'm trying to say to you is, if you just wouldn't mind
I'm listening to you, bro.
if you wouldn't mind just texting somebody while you're
I'm
on
not texting, I'm Googling.
Right. Well, you just don't want to listen, do you?
I'm listening to you, bro.
Well, that's not how you listen. I'll wait for you. We'll wait.
There's loads of people said it wasn't a robbery, so I'll put that down.
We're just going to wait for Chris to finish on his phone, viewers.
Go on.
Okay.
I was hoping to find loads of articles that said blatant robbery, but everyone was saying, nah, it's not a robbery.
No. He won. But anyway, look, let's put that aside.
Yes.
I'm
Put
going
that to one
to
side.
take you on a history lesson.
Go on.
You might know this. Do you know the history between these two? Or not?
As in the amateur history.
The Olympic team they used to be on. So, no, the
No, I
Russian
don't know any
team.
of that.
So, back in the day...
One's younger than the other.
Back in the day, these two were on, I'm not fully clear, but it was like the Russian team, right? Whatever it was. And Beterbiev was a senior, right? And at the same time, Bivol was a junior, right? That's when, at that point, when they were young, at that point, sealed it. They'll never be beat. It's about mindset. And Bivol, no matter how much he is a great boxer, no matter how good he is, no matter how determined he is, he will always have that thought in inferiority that this guy is
better than me.
Is the daddy. He's the guy that's the fucking daddy, right? And more to the point, Beterbiev has that. You can tell the way he looks at him, the way he looks down at him. Bivol will sit serious and like, yes, I give good fight and I try again. That's what he sounds like, right? It's a pretty good impression, actually.
He was a fantastic impression, Dan.
And the other one just sits.
Rushing shit down.
He just sits like that. Like slow blinks, looks at him, just...
Barely says a word.
Because that there, mate, he knows. He just knows. And you know what he knows?
When he was getting peppered with lefts and rights, mate, he didn't know.
And he knows that the other one knows as well. He knows that Bivol knows. And that's where it starts and ends.
The proof will be in the pudding come tomorrow night.
Look,
won't it?
If this is going out, if it ends up...
If it goes out on the Friday, we'll see tomorrow night.
I might end up looking silly. Very.
We both have often looked silly on this podcast, mate. It's just part and parcel of predicting boxing matches, isn't it? You're going to look silly from time to time, particularly when you're so adamant that one fight is going to win, like I was with Joshua versus Dubois, or you were with Wilder versus Parker. You were adamant Wilder was going to smash him. So we're going to look silly from time to time because we're putting our opinions on the line, aren't we? It's better than being on the fence and saying, "Oh, I don't know, it could go either way."
Let me
say
a bit more. So I've got a bit more to say.
Go on.
So I could bring in, and I'm not going to, these factors. Beterbiev had a knee operation. It's going to be better now than it was.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring that in because I don't think that matters. No. A lot of people are. I could bring another one in. Technically, he's already won, so he's got that confidence already of that he's won. Whether you agree or not, he has the win.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing that in because I don't even think that matters. I think it goes beyond that. And what it is, I believe Beterbiev will not allow himself to lose to Bivol. It's just non-negotiable. He is not losing to this guy. And I now know Bivol, what confidence Bivol will have had, he now knows that too. And I think that's just it. He's not beating him. That's just it. I'm sorry.
I disagree with you on so many fundamental levels that I can't even possibly explain it. What I want to show you, is just a little clip.
You're going to find one person that says it's a robbery?
No, it's not a person. It's not anything. I just want you to watch 30 seconds of footage. Just shut up.
You're going to send it to Southpaw, put it on the screen?
I can send it to Southpaw and put it on the screen.
Our podcast work, mate.
Just airdrop it.
Let me go into my history and find this shit.
Look at this
I was watching it earlier.
Viewers, just whilst you're waiting, Chris is having a little watch of YouTube. Mid-podcast.
Tell me what it's called, Chris. I'll type it in.
It was just in the reels. It was Bivol Beterbiev. And it was in the reels on YouTube. And it popped up in my...
You ain't finding this. What's the narrative? What's it saying?
Right, there we go. Here you go, just watch it. He smashes him about, mate.
Okay, so he had a jab.
Not just a jab, there was hooks, there was right hands, there was all sorts, mate. He was landing at will.
Any of them, Chris?
Yeah, go on, no. How Bivol got robbed against Beterbiev is ideal, mate. Yeah, that's the one we want. How Bivol got robbed against Beterbiev. Watch this. Landing at will.
Forced Bivol back at times with his heavy punches.
Yeah, he's looking good, Bivol, like.
Shut up. It's not finished, is it?
It was Bivol who landed the cleaner shots throughout the fight.
Left up, clean on the chin. Punches in bunches. Smashing him about. Up against the ropes. That went on and on throughout the entire... Listen, I know what I've seen. Yes, he was robbed.
So, what we're going to say, listen, I'm agree with you, Chris, right? Bivol got very close.
Yeah.
He was a round or two off. If he'd have won 2 more rounds, he definitely won that fight.
I think he thought he won the fight.
He did. And
so now he's not going to take any chances in the second fight, kid.
And it's what you like. Do you like that slick, wonderful boxer, or do you like that Terminator come forward, match forward? On that night, the judges picked the Terminator. I personally also thought he'd won the fight.
You picked the Terminator.
I also will agree with you that I can see your point, and I can also see how he could win. But for me, on that one, I just believe that he will not allow it.
I know, mate. I know. That's why you backed him. So
listen, final fight of the night was Dmitry Bivol.
I'm going Bivol. Points decision. Wide.
Wow.
118, 112, something like that.
Wow. Now that would be a turn up for the books. If that is that, Chris, I will shake your hand and say you definitely saw something that I had no idea was coming. What I'm going to say is it's going to be an exact repeat of the last fight. Very close. The Terminator will win again.
Yeah.
Just by march.
114, 112, John.
Yeah, a march forward, same thing, and that's what I believe. But look,
I just prefer Bivol, me, mate. I hope Bivol beats him, but you never know. It could go either way, couldn't it?
It could.
It's certainly not a done deal for Bivol, but I fancy Bivol after losing to up his game. This is the level I need to go to beat him. I'm going to get to that level, and we'll see a performance and a half from Dmitry Bivol on Saturday night.
listen, well said. Chris, it's the end of the show.
It's at the end of the show. I can go watch the Borough game.
You just do us a little sign out, mate, before you go. You've been watching
Do
people
what?
like... Little sign out. This has been people like
You've
us.
been watching people like us. Thanks for joining us. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, all that carry on. Thank you very much.
Over and out.
I don't want to ever do that again.